welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher.
So let's jump right into it.
We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is shaking, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and thank you for joining me for another video here on the channel. Today we have a first. I'm going to be doing unboxing of a submission I did to CGC Cards. That is right. If you're not familiar with them, I know it's a comics channel for the most part, but we do everything collectibles. I submitted my entire first series of Garbage Pail Kids from 1985 to CGC Cards. Before we get into it, like always, I want to remind you guys, if you're not a current sub of the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button for me. Smash the like button. I cannot tell you how much it helps the channel out. And if you're interested in merch, like always, I always have you covered. Check out the links below. With that said, I submitted a total of 82 cards, a ton of cards for my first submission, but I did the bulk tier, so it cost me less, and it came back in just about 2 months. With that said, we're going to check out how CGC sends the cards back, grades them, and check them all out. Let's get into it. Alright, so I've gone ahead and opened this CGC box. As I told you guys before, there was a total of 82 cards in Series 1 of GPK, and I decided to go ahead and submit everything all at one shot. So they did a decent job of wrapping everything up as far as I can see. I did pull out some of the bubble wrap, so I wasn't fumbling around too much in this video, but 2 boxes in the interior. We're going to go ahead and open them up and see how they're packed. Like I was saying before, not a lot of people have been, that I've seen, have submitted cards through CGC. Most people use PSA, Beckket, VGA, stuff like that. So because they're not high grade cards, I was okay sending these to CGC. I'm familiar with them, their processes, stuff like that. So let's check out my first submission, see how we did. All right, so we've gone ahead and removed the 2 boxes from the larger box from CGC. As you can see, I'm going to show you on the side, we have box 2 of 2, and we have box 1 of 2. So I'm assuming that the this one is actually a little lighter than this one, so they probably packed most of the cards in this one. Then when it runneth over, they decided to go ahead and put it in a separate box. But let's take a look and see how they're individually packed. Let's start with box 1 of 2, because this one is the heavy one. So let's check it out. I've gone ahead and already taken the tape off, but as you guys can see, actually a pretty good job. I love the way they're packed. Of course, here's the invoice for all the cards. Like I said, a total of 82. A monster submission. I did bulk. If you guys haven't submitted to them before, the bulk allows you to get $10 per card. So this is ideal for me, who I was sending so many cards in at once, that the bulk one took me about 2 months to get back, which is not a bad process, concerning we know with comics it can take a hell of a lot longer, especially on stuff that is not high value. So again, some of these cards are worth like $100, some are worth probably about $15 to $20, probably in certain grades even less than that. But for $10 a card to get them slabbed, I thought it was a decent deal. So let's check out the second box and see what it actually looks like. I'm assuming it's the same. Yep, there you go. So they didn't quite fill the entire box. So we said 82. I'm not going to go ahead and count each one. So a little bit more than half are in one box and a little bit less in the other. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual cards themselves and see how we did. Probably going to do this in over 2 videos, or else we'd be here probably for an hour. I don't want to do that. So we'll do 1 today and 1 next time. All right, so let's start this off. The first one we're going to take a look at today is, of course, Ash Can Andy. One of my favorites growing up, of course, a play on Star Wars and R2-D2. Series 1, 13A, Ash Can Andy came back a matte VG Excellent 4. So we knew these were in mid-grade cards. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the back. As you can see, the tape on the top and bottom is just for filming purposes, so I know where to put the cards so you guys get a nice view of the card. But starting off in a decent grade 4, Ash Can Andy. So, of course, up next is Spacey Stacy, the counterpart. Also came back a VG EX4 13B. So let's pair them up and take a look at them together. I love it when we get Garbage Pail Kids that are actually the same grade for the counterparts. That is a really, really special thing, in my opinion. Do me a favor, comment down below if you own Garbage Pail Kids and you've graded them before and they came back, their counterparts are the same grade. Do you love it as much as me? I don't know, maybe I'm nuts. But either way, Spacey Stacy, let's go ahead and take a look at the back. Nothing spectacular, but either way, solid for the first grades that we got. Up next is Potty Scotty. Again, another great name from Series 1. Came back an excellent 5.5, 14A Potty Scotty in matte finish. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. Again, nothing to write home about. You're going to see some of these cards are a little bit off center. This one is, of course, the same way. This one is not too bad, but 5.5 Potty Scotty. His counterpart, Jason Basin, came back a 5, excellent condition, 14B matte. Go ahead and put them together so you guys can see. This one's a little bit more off center, but again, it would have been cool if we got them both in a 5 or a 5.5. That would have been awesome. Up next is Alan Al. Alan Al came back a 4 VGEX 15A. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. There you go. How about his counterpart, Mold Paul? Now this one is really miscut. 15B Mold Paul came back a very good 3.5. So this one is really bad. That's one of the worst I've ever seen. Let's go ahead and take a look at them together. 4 and 3.5. This one I might try to upgrade to a 4 if I can get one, or possibly even a higher grade, because that one is really off center. Up next is Haggy Maggie. Haggy Maggie came back a 5. It is 16B matte. Centering is pretty good in this one, so excellent condition. Again, a lot of these I bought them all as a series 1 through 15 complete set, so I knew the person who had them put together a set when they were a kid or possibly a little bit older, and a lot of them were, played with, handled, stuff like that. So counterpart, here you go. Weird Wendy also came back a 5, 16A Weird Wendy. So again, another set, 5 and 5. We may hang on to these. We'll take that all day long. So here's the back. Back looks pretty good. Up next is Wacky Jackie. Wacky Jackie 17A came back a VGEX 4.5. Again, a major miscut on this one. Show you guys the back. Up next is her counterpart, Looney Lenny. Again, a major miscut. Came back a very good 3.5, 17B Looney Lenny. They're all matte cards in this set, so again, I'll show you the back. The back doesn't look like the miscut's too bad. Up next is Cranky Frankie. My buddy Frankie out there, if you're watching this video, this is you, my friend. 18A came back excellent 5, so that's a pretty decent grade in my opinion. Probably could have got higher. It's a little bit off-white of a card. And there you go, there is the back. We almost missed it on his counterpart. I wish we gotten a 5 on this, would have been nice. Bad Brad came back a VGEX Plus 4.5 18B. Again, I'm going to go pretty quickly on these because there's a lot to get through and I don't want this to be an hour-long video. Up next is Corroded Carl. Now, if you guys have watched some of my other Garbage Pail Kids videos, I talked about Corroded Carl, and it's super high-grade gem mint. Goes for a decent amount of money. Unfortunately, this one came back a VGX 4, but either way, it presents pretty nice. The centering is actually really nice in this card, so I'm not sure why it got a 4. The back looks even nicer, so this one, probably not going to do a resubmit, but I'm not sure why this got such a low grade, because it is a nice-looking card. His counterpart, Crater Chris, came back a 5.5, so I believe that's tied for the highest grade so far that we've gotten. 19B Crater Chris, 5.5. This one is a little bit miscut, not too bad, but 19B. There you go, take a look at the back. Up next is Swell Mel. Swell Mel. Well, we're not going to get into this card, right, with this day and age. But either way, Series 1 20A Swell Mel came back a 4 VG/EX. And you can see this one is slightly miscut as well. But either way, a very cool card. I would like to get 7s or above. That's my ideal goal for any Garbage Pail Kids because that is in a near mint range. But either way, his counterpart, Dressy Jesse, came back in X near mint. So this is the highest grade we've gotten so far. A 6, 20B Dressy Jesse, 6. Take this one. Maybe we'll try to get 6s or higher because that seems to be the near mint excellent range. So Virus Iris, speaking of that, also came back a 6 EX near mint, 21A. This one has a slight miscut, as you can see. And it's really noticeable on the back here. Virus Iris. Oh, and we just missed out on getting the counterpart at a 6. Came back a 5.5 Sicky Vicky, 5.5 Excellent Plus, 21B. This one is almost perfectly centered. Really nice card on the back. Oh, this would have been sweet if it came back double 6s. Wow, trifecta, 3 in a row. 6 EX, Near Mint, 6 Junkie Jeff, 22A. Junkie Jeff. Always loved this one growing up as a kid. The back is really nice as well. Some of these you're going to see later on have some stuff on the back of the cards. Like I said, probably wasn't handled great being owned by kids. His counterpart, Stinky Stan, came back an excellent 5. This one also has a little bit of a miscut. A 22B Stinky Stan. Let's take a look at them side by side to see what, if we can see the difference between a 5 and a 6. Outside of the miscut, you know, this corner may be a little bit more dull than this card presents. Outside of that, you know, going by the naked eye, it's really hard. I'm not a card grader. I'm a million times better at grading comics. You guys know that. But you could see a little bit of a difference between Junkie Jeff and Stinky Stan. This one, the colors are a little bit better as well. So pretty cool to have a 6 in that one, though. All right, Drippy Dan. Drippy Dan came back a 4.5. And again, I don't really see anything wrong with this card outside of a little tanning maybe. 23A came back a VG Excellent Plus 4.5. There's the back. The back looks pretty decent. And his counterpart, Leaky Lou. Leaky Lou is definitely suffering from a miscut. Wow, that is bad. But it still came back a VGEX 4, 23B. So how the hell is this one a 4.5? Really centered pretty good. This one is really miscut, and it came back a 4. So I can't tell why this one is a little bit less than this one. It should be very much off than it is this one. The corners, you know, none of them look pretty bad. You could see the back. Outside of the miscut, they look about the same to me. So I don't know. This is our first foray into grading cards. So let's push forward. So Nervous Rex. Nervous Rex came back an excellent 5.5, 24A. Again, suffers from a mid miscut. There's the back. Back looks pretty good actually. And his counterpart, Nerdy Norm, came back a 4.5. If you don't remember, on another video I did, Nerdy Norm is another card in super high grade, goes for quite a bit of money, 24B. Ours came back, unfortunately, a VG Excellent Plus 4.5. So again, we were just talking about miscuts. The 5.5 is severely miscut more than the 4.5, so that can't really affect the grade. You can also see some stuff here on the top. Hopefully you guys can see it right there on the top of the 5.5 where this has nothing on it. So I'm not too sure why this got the lower grade. So somebody out there grades with CGC cards and can explain that to me, that'd be fantastic. And the backs, of course, look very similar. Up next is Scary Carrie. Scary Carrie came back a VGX 4.5, Series 1 25B. Not too bad. This one, again, a miscut. And I'll show you the back. Then we have Creepy Carol. Creepy Carol came back a 4 VGX. This one is a lot better center, but again, another lower grade, which I'm not really sure why. Maybe the color's a little bit brighter on Scary Carrie. Either way, there's the back. So it's getting in our second row now. So our second row, we're going to start with Harry Mary. She came back a 4.5 VG EX Plus, 12B. Decent shape. There's the back. Her counterpart is Furry Fran. Furry Fran also came back a 4.5. So that is some great stuff right there. Matching cards. You can see this one. The colors are a lot better. So again, this card must be in better shape than this one, but either way, both coming back at a 4.5. Next up, we have TV Stevie. He came back a 5, excellent condition. Now, this card looked really nice to me. I'm not sure why it came back a 5. The yellows are very bright and vibrant. The corners look pretty decent. You know, not spectacular, but I figured this should have come back as 6. And the back looks really, really nice. Well, actually, after inspecting, look at the bottom of this card. You can see right here there is some lines, something going on. Maybe the way the gum was, where this was packed. Maybe that may be gum staining right there. So that might affect the grade. Either way, it came back a 5. His counterpart, hey, Geeky Gary. Geeky Gary also came back a 5. So let's compare them. Let's take a look together, see how they look. Again, this one stands out a little bit more as more brighter, but other than that, and that's the one that has the stuff at the bottom. So I don't understand the grading, but I'll leave it to CGC. Either way, matching 5s, I always like that. You guys know that. Up next is Drunk Ken. Drunk Ken came back a 6. All right, so there we go. One of the higher grade ones you've had so far. EX Near Mint Matte 9B Drunk Ken. Show you guys the back. His counterpart, Bruisin' Bruce, came back a 4.5 9A VG-EX Plus. My brother-in-law's name is Bruce, and this card fits him to a freaking T. I love you, Bruce. Hope you're watching. But again, at 4.5, would have been nice if we could match those up because that is a cool card. One of my favorite from Series 1. All right, here we go. One of the better cards from the Series 1. This one is 8B Blasted Billy VG-EX, came back a 4. This one is a little bit offset towards the bottom, but not too bad. Presents pretty well. Corners look okay. Not too sure why this one got a 4. Definitely a little bit more dirty. That's probably why. But again, the back looks really nice as well. So Blasted Billy a 4. Would have loved to have gotten a higher grade on this one because the value shoots right up. So the next one is his counterpart and is one of the most expensive Garbage Pail Kids there is. Hoping for a decent grade. What did we get? All right, so it's better than Blasted Billy, but it came back a 5. Atom Bomb 8A came back an excellent 5. Now, I think this one probably would have gotten a better grade if it was a little bit more centered. Definitely a miscut, really affected the grade on this one, but a 5 probably runs you, you know, $100 or so. So again, one of the more expensive Garbage Pail Kids cards. The back looks pretty good, so Atom Bomb. We may try to upgrade this one at some point because we always want the better cards and higher grades. All right, we're winding down towards the end of box 1. Probably going to save box 2 for another time. Here we have Stormy Heather, 7A. She came back a VG-EX 4.5. Again, this card looks pretty good to me, but what do I know? I'm not a card grader. And there is the back. Looks pretty good, Stormy Heather. So her counterpart came back, April Showers, a 4.5 7B. Also VG-EX. Let's line them up. Take a look at them together. What do we notice? This one is definitely a better cut, 100%, so I'm not sure why they got the same grade. A little bit of a dull edge on here, which, again, this one looks like it's a really nice card, so I'm not sure why it came back at VG. Nothing on the back that I could tell, but either way, happy to get those in matching grades. All right, Busted Bob. This is the lowest grade card we've gotten so far. Busted Bob. Why did we get a 2.5 good plus? The front presents pretty well. Not one of my favorite Garbage Pail Kids, but let's check out the back. So there's the culprit. You guys see this right here? Some of the browning and staining on the back that really attributed to damage on the card and the lower grade. So either way, Busted Bob came back at 2.5. His counterpart, Art Apart. This is one of my favorite names associated with Garbage Pail Kids. 5.5, excellent condition. 6A, Art Apart. We may have to upgrade that Busted Bob, though. That is a bad grade for that card. Oh, wow. So this has been our best grade so far. It is Series 1, 5B, J Decay, came back a near mint 7. Of course, this is one of our better Garbage Pail Kids cards, in my opinion, after Atom Bomb, after a few others, but always love this art. If you guys checked out one of my other Garbage Pail Kids videos, this was the thumbnail, J Decay. But as you can see, it's a little bit off-center, but I'm not sure if that affected the grade or not. It is very hard to tell for me why some of these are 5s and some of these are 7s. So either way, J Decay is a 7. His counterpart is probably better, one of more of my favorites, and that was Dead Ted. Dead Ted came back a 4.5 VG/EX Plus, 5A Dead Ted. This one is also a little bit miscut, but not too bad. As you can see the back, also nothing to write home about. Up next is, again, one of my favorites from 1985. It is Electric Bill. Came back an excellent 5.5, 4B Electric Bill. Centering is not too bad. The back looks really nice. Other than that, nothing to write home about. So what do we get on his counterpart? Fryin' Ryan came back a 5. Fryin' Ryan. Excellent condition, 5. Let's line them up together, because he is one of my favorites. So if you guys could tell the difference between a 5.5 and a 5, please let me know down in the comments, because I sure as hell can't. Again, the backs look pretty good to me, identical. Then we have Heavin' Steven. Heavin' Steven is definitely has a miscut. Came back a VG-EX 3B. Definitely not the cut we want to see, but either way, a 4. Not too bad. This one we may try to upgrade as well. But again, his counterpart, Up Chuck, in much better shape. Came back excellent, 5.5. Lot better centering, still a little bit off, but either way, 3A Up Chuck. Let's take a look at the back. Yeah, you can see right here, a little bit of a miscut. So we're getting towards the end of this thing. Here we have Series 1, 11B, Bugged Burt, and 8. So that is the highest grade we've gotten so far. Near mint, Bugged Burt, of course, featuring a little kid with all these spiders and the spider web behind him. Came back in 8. That is tremendous. We got to check the value on this one, see if it's worth anything. So far, that's been the best one. So who is his counterpart? His counterpart is Itchy Richie, also in great condition as well. Came back at near mint 7, 11A, Itchy Richie. Back looks pretty good as well. Next up is Ray Decay. Ray Decay 2B came back a VGEX Plus 4.5. There you go. There's the back. And his counterpart, Junk Food John, came back a 5. So again, we're going to line them up together to see if we could spot any difference between a 4.5 and a 5. But I sure as hell can. This one, the colors look a little bit better to me than Junk Food John. So I'm not sure why this one got a higher grade. Let's check out the back. And again, they look pretty clean. So I'm not sure why one got one and one got the other. All right, our final 2 cards, the most expensive out there. First one is Evil Eddie. Evil Eddie came back a 4.5 VGEX Plus, 1B. Matte, you know, it's slightly miscut, not too bad, but Evil Eddie came back at 4.5. And the back looks pretty good as well. So I saved the best for last because it is the most expensive Garbage Pail Kids out there. And it is, of course, Nasty Nick. Unfortunately, Nasty Nick came back with a 3.5, very good plus, 1A. This is the one you want if you're a Garbage Pail Kids collector. In a Gem Mint 10, this card can go for over $10,000. It is crazy. So 9s go for about $2,000, $2,500. So take that to the bank. Fortunately, a 3.5 is not getting us much. Maybe about $100, not too sure. But we'll have to check the value on this one. I'm going to show you guys the back. So. All right, so that's it for box 1. I'm going to save box 2 for another time. All right, so that's it for the first box. We do have one more box to go, and it's maybe about half filled. So we're going to do that in a part 2 of this video. But I want to hear your comments. What do you think of CGC Cards? Do you like the labels? Have you submitted to other grading companies? Have you used CGC Cards before? How do you compare it to comics? I do think that the grading standards got to be different because I'm not an avid card grader. In fact, this is the very first time I've submitted anywhere for cards. So it's not like comics where you got page counts, got stuff missing. You know, the corners can be totally different. Some of the grades, the cards look identical to me and they have different grades. So I know a lot more goes into it. A lot of different things go into it. But I want to hear comments down below. Should I do this again with Series 2? There's going to be more other card stuff coming here on the channel because this is Mighty Comics and collectible. So it's everything collectible here on the channel. So as always, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that sub button for me. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.